Joining us from St. John's, head coach Joe Tardamella will have an opening statement followed by questions. Coach?
Sure. Yeah, listen, congratulations to Georgetown. I thought they really did a great job. They did the same thing to us a couple weeks ago, and obviously we didn't do enough to be ready for the game. But they've done an incredible job under the circumstances, so I want to congratulate them and Darnell and what they've done for through their year. But yeah, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, the stats don't lie in the game. We knew it would be an issue if we gave up too many points in the paint, and obviously from a rebounding standpoint. But they just took it to us, I thought, and we didn't really respond in the way that we've done all year. So that part's frustrating. And at the same time, I know that we've got more games to play. So the fact that we have the ability to play meaningful games in March with this group from where we started, I think is a pretty incredible journey for them. So I'm really proud of what they've done. To finish with an opportunity to be the 3 seed in this league is really difficult. And so, when you look at our season and our team as a whole, they've continued to surprise and I think put themselves in a position that they were in. And if you asked us in November where we would be, I don't know if we would be thinking we would, have a chance to be in the postseason. And so I think they've done a great job in putting us there. So as I told them in the locker room, look, I mean, the way that they've played all year, especially after Christmas, they deserve to be where they were. And credit to Georgetown how they played. They just did a better job. They outplayed us. They outcoached us. They did it all. So.
Question in the back from Pam.
Hi, Coach. Pam Roker, Big East Digital Network. What is it specifically about Seton Hall's defensive attack or defensive scheme? I know February 20th they held you to 43, today 44 points. Is it anything in particular, or is it matchups?
No, I mean, look, Georgetown, I think, is who we got, Pam, so I think that's what you meant. So I got you.
Long day.
Yeah,
Long day.
I understand. Us too. Long 2 weeks, sitting on our asses. But yeah, look, they just play hard. I think they did a good job with their pressure. We had worked for the time that we had off since our last game and doing all the things they did to us, and we just didn't respond. And so that's frustrating. But no, they have the ability to run in a number of players. They have size. You've got a defensive player of the year on the floor who can dictate a lot of the game at times. And they made more shots. They made more shots than we did, and even some of the ones that were maybe more difficult. So I just thought they were more forceful in what they did. They're playing certainly with a pretty strong belief right now, which I think is a credit to them. And yeah, I mean, I just think that when we struggle, our point guards struggle to play in the game, or we struggle on the glass, and so we had a lot of holes this year that we were able to kind of to plug at times, and I think that's why I'm so proud of our staff and the players that we have that put us in this position. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything we didn't think was coming. Let's put it that way. We just didn't match the intensity level or the level of acumen to be able to do the things we worked on.
Question up front from Brad.
Hi, Coach. Brad Lake, WNBA Swish. As you were saying at the beginning of the season, you really didn't know, where you would be right now. After the long and grueling season, can you speak to the heart and soul of your team and what you have learned from them?
Well, without going into it, I think I learned a lot about the power of one, in one way or the other, and just in watching our team transform by who you have around you, right? It's an amazing thing, and to watch a player like, when you talk about heart and soul, and you look at the team and how we have to play, you look at a kid like Unique Drake who, she struggled tonight. It's not a secret, she struggled, but for a kid who's been with me for 5 years, has given me everything that she has, stayed with the program through good times and even hard times, whether it be tough seasons or even through COVID. But she's one of those things that when you put it in a category of heart and soul, she's one of them. you know, and you don't get that chance to coach players for that long period of time and probably won't again. But I just think that we breed a certain level of toughness in our program that we expect, and today we didn't meet it. But I think that's what's carried us through, you know, the better part of the season. These kids have played since August. You know, we went overseas, played in Europe. They've heard my voice for too long. We played whatever Tuesday it was ago. We have 11 days off before a tournament, a conference tournament, which I think is unheard of. So we come off a big win against Marquette. We're trying to get ready for that. We had 2 areas of compression in the schedule that we fought through. These kids don't have to prove anything to me, and I don't think they have to prove anything to anybody else either. Regardless of what the record is in the conference, I told them in the locker room, I haven't had many teams who have finished as a 3 seed. You know, I don't think it's I don't think that should be unheralded. You know, I watch these games all the time, and they talk about teams that are below us and around us, and not about us. And so, I do think they deserve some credit, along with the rest of the league. The league is really hard. That's why everybody should be talked about. When you look down and you look at these games right now, look at the games. Seeds don't matter. Doesn't matter at this time of year. And so, you know, and I think the coaches who have come into the league, and I've been in this league now as a kid at 22, and now I'm almost, I don't even know how old I am, 45 maybe. 44, thank you. You got that right, didn't you? All right. 44. But, you know, like, I mean, so I have a lot of pride in what the league is about. I have a lot of pride in the players that have played here and the history of the league. And for the game of women's basketball, is coming from somebody whose sister was a great player, and that's how I got into the game. So, you know, for me, it's been really exciting to carry the torch, you know, on from when Kim was here and gave me an opportunity, and Kathy being here, and Mike, and everyone who's been with me. Kristen's back, but our league is filled with great coaches, and I think even even this year you're seeing an infusion of energy in some of those programs, which I think is massive for us, along with the programs that have been stayers in that kind of that upper half. But it's a chore, man. I mean, you got to really be on your game, and we got beat today, and so, you know, I think the league is moving in the right direction. We have a lot of teams that I think are worthy of playing in the postseason, so we'll see how that goes. But couldn't be prouder of where we are within that. You know, coming off last year, you're losing 6 players that were legitimate starters, scorers, 70% of your offense. There's a million things that you got to figure out, which we have to do again anyway. We probably will do it every year. But, you know, so, I mean, I couldn't tell you how proud I am of them. And so, like I said, it's been a long haul. But I'm excited that we still have more games to play. Or I believe we should.
Question from Corey in the second row.
Corey John with the Craytonian. Your team didn't score a layup in the first 27 minutes of the game. You only got 4 of them off. What did they do schematically to keep your team out of the interior?
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, I mean, you're telling me something I didn't really know. If we didn't score a layup in 27 minutes, it's interesting. But if we didn't, if that's actually a true statement, then not that hard to figure out either. We were really, for whatever reason, trying to take shots that were harder than the ones that were actually open. So for me, it was more of, hey, just be forceful, be able to get the ball up. But we missed shots that, you know, they put pressure on us. We sped up a little bit maybe. Those were some of the ones that we missed, I would say. But again, if I look at a couple of games that we lost, they're there too. You know, so when we've struggled, that's been a problem. And when we've been successful for the most part, you know, we're there. But no, I don't think the schematic was pressure out, right? So it's hard to get it inside and be able to force us to go away from the basket, which is why you're not seeing probably as many in the lane, which is why the point paints are where they were.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. just that one, there was just that one phone, that was it. Somebody miss one?
Joe's, but.
Okay. I think Coach is here. I think Coach is here. Grace Ann Bennett is coming.
Coach is pretty enough. You can leave it on, Coach. You look good. You were yesterday. It's pretty. You can leave it on.
How's it going?
Hey.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
What's up? It's late. It's late. It's late.
Coach, congrats.
How are you? Thank you so much.
Joining us from Georgetown, head coach Darnell Haney, student athlete Grace Ann Bennett. We'll begin with the opening statement from Coach. We'll then get questions for Grace Ann, and then end it with questions for Coach. Coach, the floor is yours.
Again, I know it's late. Thank you guys so much for staying here to talk to us and to talk to this young woman because she was amazing tonight, right? I got on her a little bit about finishing today, and she, she looked at me with those puppy dog eyes, and I'm like, it's time. It was go time, and she was just amazing tonight. Just finishing around the rim defensively. She just did a great job for us, and I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of all of our girls. I think one of the biggest things that we harp on every single day is making sure we lock in on our defensive principles and the defensive game plan. We wanted to make sure that we kind of took St. John's out of the things they wanted to do, right? And they have a really good player in Drake and another really good player in Archer, and we wanted to make sure everything was tough for them, and I think our group kind of flustered them a little bit, and we were able to get the win. So I'm happy for us to go get the win, but just like it's tournament time, man, so it's next day, next play.
Questions for Grace Ann. Brad in front.
Hi, Grace Ann. It's Bradley from WNBA Swish. Including your big game tomorrow, can you speak of what it's like being on the big stage for 3 games in a row, and how's it feel just knowing the world is watching you?
We tend to approach every day the same way in this program. Every practice, lift, film session, game, no matter the size of the stage. So it feels pretty normal, and that's huge credit to how we prepare. Work really hard in practice so that in the game, thinking and being in the moment is really easy. So it's been a joy to just be present and enjoy it and be here with good competition and great teammates.
Question from Pam.
Hi, Grace Ann. First of all, Pam Roker, Big East Digital Network. I want to say congratulations on the 2-time Sportsmanship
Thank you.
Award. I want to acknowledge that. But today, you came out with a different mindset. You guys set the tone early. You ended up with 16 points, and I just wondered kind of the mindset of the team, because you jumped St. John's early with that big first quarter lead. What were you kind of thinking of?
We knew we had a quick turnaround with our scout, given the nature of the tournament, and that we needed to switch our mindset from Xavier to pack the paint, play really solid defense, know where Drake was, and do our tactical strategies that we always do, play our Georgetown defense. So that's really what our game plan was to be us and finish plays on offense, like Coach said. So made that happen, and it started on the defensive end. Sure.
Corey, Joe, and Craytonian. Glad I finally got to see y'all play in person. But y'all really hang your head on the defensive end of the ball. Can you talk about the culture, the communication, everything that goes into that maybe we don't see just watching the games?
Yeah, it started for us in the summer and fall. Coach Haney was teaching us our own language, and that's what we use to communicate on defense, to make our calls, to talk to each other. It's specific to only us, and he said this before, but if you come in our gym, you won't know what we're talking about, and we love it that way. So that comes with a lot of preparation, a lot of reps, just taking every practice seriously, and getting fluent in our defense so that it's easy in the game.
Any other questions for Grace Ann? All right, thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hey, great job today.
Thanks,
man.
Coach.
Okay, see you.
Questions for Coach? Brad, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Brad again from WNBA Swish. In your regular season meeting with Creighton, it was a really tough game. You lost by 5. Can you speak to how you're going to have the team, their mentality tomorrow, physically and mentally, just knowing how good they are?
Yeah, Creighton is a really good team. They shoot the ball really well. Again, like Grace Ann talked about, now we got to switch our mind frame on defense and on offense again, because Creighton is a totally different team than St. John's. So we have to make sure we switch our mind frame defensively and offensively, so that we are prepared to guard and prepared to attack Creighton. And in this situation, we have to make sure we are, like right now it's tournament time. It's not about the, running, and it ain't about the practice. It's about mental preparation. It's about being mentally prepared and mentally locked in to do the things you need to do to be successful. And that takes a lot of film. That takes having a foundation already so that we can just switch it, right, like that. So I just think when we prepare to play a good team, right, but Creighton knows, and I think Creighton knows that we're a good team too. So we have to make sure that we're prepared to go out and perform and go out and do things the Georgetown way. We'll be just fine.
Stylistically, you really controlled this game, kept the pace down, kept it low scoring. How are you able to do that?
I just think it's who we are, man. We want to impose our will on what we're doing in the game. We don't want you to dictate what we do. We want to make sure we're dictating the emphasis, and we feel like we can do that defensively, right? Those are the people we have, and we just got some great kids that listen, that do things the way they're supposed to be done, and just, I just think the way they've been able to buy in, the way they've been able to get through adverse times, at times all over the place, I just think this group has done a great job. But then also, I should have said this at the beginning, all the glory goes to God, man. He just puts these young women in positions where they listen, they're attentive. He blessed them with the situations and the ability that they have. And I'm just proud of them, man. They just do a great job. But all glory goes to God in this, man. This is amazing. They've been able to get to the semifinals in the Big East tournament. I'm just a kid from Miami, man. Right? I used to dribble the basketball a mile to go play basketball. I used to dribble it a mile. I used to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm dribbling the basketball, and my parents are like, put that ball up, right? And now we in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. So I'm just proud of them, man. I'm proud of our group.
Any other questions for Coach?
I actually have one more.
Go ahead.
How has the energy changed in the locker room these past 2 days, just pulling off the win yesterday, but especially tonight, pulling off this big upset?
Energy in the locker room is the same. We bring it, right? And that starts with me, right? We're going to bring it every day. We're going to bring the energy every single day. And then it goes to my staff. And then those kids bring it. They have to. It's what we do. That's who we are. So if you're not doing that and you're not bringing energy every day, you don't belong, right? So positive energy, positive energy. I really, really hang our hats on that because we feel like positive energy, positive talk, positive action brings a positive life. And tonight, we were able to get a positive result.
Coach, thank you and congrats.
Thank you so much. You guys get some rest.
You too.
All right. See you in the morning. Well, see you tomorrow.